Hello, 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 world. You know what it is, and you know who it is. It's your boy Mike on Up and Coming Show, Breaking Bread, and today is the first installment of This Is My Life. For those that watched the previous one with Stacy, aka Stotts, I appreciate y'all, and I know y'all liked it. And to Karima, thank you for being a part of the new installment of This Is My Life.
No problem. I don't know what I'm over here doing. Messing with the light. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you too. I appreciate you too because I know you're a busy girl and you got so much going on. So for you to take the time out your day to be here, I appreciate that.
I appreciate your time as well, Meek. Thank you for having me.
So this is the first installment. So are you ready?
No.
Nah, I think you're ready because you lie all years always become prepared. Always come prepared, I should say. So you got this.
I don't know about that, but okay, let's wing it.
All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Let me see. Hold on. Let me do something real quick. Everything is public, so if you want to share it to anybody or whatever, you can be able to do so. So we're good to go on that. Just want to let you know.
Okay. You were lagging just now. Am I lagging?
Yeah, you were lagging on my end too. Yeah, and see now you're doing it right now.
Mm.
I think you. Yeah, I think you're good now. All right, so let's get into this, girl.
Okay.
Question number one. It's an introduction question, so it ain't too crazy. Tell me who you are and what makes you who you are.
Um, so I am a mom, a sister, a daughter. I'm a lawyer. Um, I'm a motivator. I have a lot of people that call me that they need some like life or like some inspiration. So I feel like I'm like a life coach. I'm like a lot of different things, but yeah, that's what I am. I'm a sister of a brother who I watched change from the age of 18. Like he had like a mental breakdown and it just was like a spiraling downward. I saw his friends desert him. I just saw him change over the years, and that was what 21 years ago. So yeah, I'm just a sister of many siblings, but that's my biggest uh work as a sister. But I'm also a daughter of two, biologically a daughter of two drug addicts. One has been clean for 18 years. So I'm just a 30 something year old just trying to make the best I can out of life. So that is who I am. Just trying to live life more and laugh more and just heal more. And that's it. That's who I am. And what was the second part?
What makes you who you are?
I think what makes me just, I guess, the way I grew up, the neighborhood I grew up in, how I interacted with my siblings. I have a lot of siblings. I have three sisters, four brothers. I have a brother who was adopted out, so I don't know him, but hopefully I can find him one day. So I think that's all a part, every heartbreak and every relationship and every friendship, that makes me who I am. And just like challenges and what I overcame in life, that's what makes me who I am. Every situation, everything. That's who makes me who I am. And do you want me to elaborate on that, or
Oh no, we good. We could leave it there. But I have a run along question. That's why I say you could leave it there. So, coming from a product of two drug addicts to become who you are, like, how did it make you feel, and what was the process that you took to become who you are today?
Okay, so I think this kind of overlaps into the second question, but so I wasn't raised by either of those parents, but um, so I don't know. So I guess I wasn't raised in that environment. I saw that environment later in life, so it really didn't affect me until I was older. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So like the second question that you're about to ask, I guess I can once you ask me the second question, I guess I can elaborate on it more. But I wasn't raised by either one of them.
Okay.
So it didn't have too much of an effect on me. Well, except for the fact that I knew that I didn't want to be on drugs and I didn't drink until I was 28 because I know alcoholism and drug addiction sort of is like hereditary or like nature versus nurture. So I stayed away from it until about 27. Not drugs. I don't do drugs, but like even drinking because I didn't want to fall into that trap. So that's how that affected me, I could say.
Okay, so question number two. Both parents present? If yes or no, how did it make you feel?
So I was, like I said, I wasn't raised by either parent, by my biological dad or my biological mom. I was adopted by my maternal grandmother's coworker and friend. She took me in at one, adopted me like at 8 or 9. She was married, but she was separated by the time I came around at the age of 1. So I was raised by my adopted mom, and then it's like a lot of entanglement because basically because my adopted family and my biological family, because we all knew one another, basically I was always, I went around. So my birth mother and her husband, who's my stepdad, who I called my dad, he raised me as well. So it's like a lot of moving parts in how I grew up. Like my maternal grandmother played a big part. My stepfather, Larry, I named William Lawrence. I named him after him. Like he was a huge part. He treated me like I was his biological daughter. So that was the component, and that's how I was raised. And what was the second aspect of that question? I'm sorry. What did you say? You
I
said,
said, yeah, I said if both parents were present, yes or no, and how did it make you feel?
oh, so I'm really grateful. I know there's people that were adopted that like feel like they wanted to be raised by their biological family, but I'm really, 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 really grateful that um I was adopted by the person I was adopted by. So I'm truly grateful. I don't have any resentment against my biological mom. I'm really like, I mean, it couldn't have been more perfect. Like that woman treated me with the most unconditional love ever. It's like Les Brown said something like his biological mom carried him in, like carried her, but then his adopted mom carried him in her heart, something like that. So
Yeah.
that's when he said that, I was like, yeah, that's exactly like I literally, she couldn't have loved me more if I came out of her body. So I'm just amazed that I even had the opportunity to know that woman.
Okay. Well, this is a run along question I have for you. Do you feel that your life would have been different if you were raised by both biological parents?
Oh, absolutely. Well, first of all, I couldn't have been. I was actually on my way to foster care, so I was being taken. So I couldn't. I guess I can. I would say if I wasn't on my way to foster care and I was raised by them, yeah, my life would have been in shambles. I think. I don't know. I know some people can climb out of like certain situations, but I feel like I don't know if my life would have been the same. I don't know if I think it would have just been completely different. I don't know. I don't think I would have obtained all that I like all the degrees that I obtained and just like the the level of maturity and growth. I think my life would have just been completely different. That's my opinion. But yeah, so my biological parents weren't together. My biological father was married. So I have a brother who's the same age as me. We're like 2 months apart. So like that component wasn't even all, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't, they wouldn't have raised me together anyway, but I still think it wouldn't have been. I don't know. I don't know. It wouldn't have been good. I don't think.
Okay.
That's my
So let's backtrack real quick. You
opinion.
mentioned you had degrees, so don't you feel like you should toot your own horn and let the world know that many degrees you have, you know?
Yeah, but I don't, I'm really like a humble person. Like I have like a lot of humility, but I have my associates, my bachelor's, and I have a JD, my law degree, which I'm really, really proud of. I don't want to think like I prayed to get into law school. That was always my dream since I was 12. So I'm really, really grateful, but I feel like I feel like I want to reach a little more. I don't know if I want to get another degree or if I just want to like do something else with my career or with my degree. But yes, of course, I'm learning to be more present and be more grateful and not look at the next thing that I want to achieve. And so, you know what? You're right. I should toot my horn and not look at what else I want to achieve. So, yes, I'm really grateful for the 3 degrees that I have. But education is not the biggest thing in life. You know what I mean? Like, that's not your gift in life. I'm grateful for it, but I also know, like, it's it's just a degree. You know what I mean? So you people with degrees and titles like CEOs, we have to still treat people in an amazing way. So it's I'm not only my degree. You know what I mean? I'm so much more. That's basically what I'm trying to say. But I'm grateful for it because I worked really
Of
hard for it.
course, you know, you one
Yeah.
thing I'm a big advocate for is bigging yourself up, man. You feel what I'm saying? Because nobody else was going to school for those degrees but you.
Hmm.
Nobody else was studying for hours but you. Nobody was taking those difficult tests but you. So toot your horn, baby. Shit, I commend you, you know, because
Yeah.
I'm in college myself and I'm getting a dual degree, which is going to be my bachelor's and associates. And that shit is not for the weak. So I know I can identify with that and know it's hard work, especially considering you having your own separate life and having to do the things you have to do while incorporating school at the same time. So I know that could be very difficult.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That bachelor's associates, that wasn't too hard. It was because life was like just I was young. I went straight from high school into college. So like, when you're young and you go straight, you have no responsibility. Sometimes you do, but so that was easy. It was law school. That getting in, that did me. So my whole life, everything was easy for me. So when I trying to get into law school, that was hard. Staying in law school, that was hard. Getting out of law school, that was hard. Getting my passing the bar exam, that was hard because there was so many things going on outside, like real life, like crazy. That's why I know that was God because there's no way. I don't know how I got out and I don't know how I passed the bar. And I was studying what 12 to 14 hours a day. I don't even know how I did that. So
Okay, okay.
I don't know.
You want to know how you did it? Because you got it done because you wanted to get it done. That's how you got it done.
Yep,
You know?
that's true. The angels and stuff, people like
Exactly.
people, yeah, looking over you. People in the past. Yep, that's true. You're
You
right,
know?
Meek.
Yeah, for real, man. That's just how I look at it. Like, I mean, a lot of people may not be a fan of Andrew Tate, but he says some real stuff. Like, you are a loser because you want to be a loser. You
Mm,
are a winner because you want to be a winner. Because he said something that resonated with me. He said, I have never came across somebody that worked hard for what they wanted and didn't get it.
and that's the truth.
You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? And I
Yeah.
thought about it and I said to myself, yo, he's right, bro. Everybody that, like, for example, like, I like to speak about my cousin. He's younger than me, and everything that he said he was gonna do, he did. He was
Mm,
like, "Yo, Meek, I'm gonna go into the army." He went to the army. Yo, Meek, I'm gonna open up a business. He opened up a business. Yo, Meek, I'm gonna move. He moved. Everything that he said he was gonna do, he did.
wow.
And once I seen that transcript from Andrew Tate, it made me think about him. And I said to myself, "It's true, man. If you work hard for it, you're gonna get it." Because
Right.
a lot of people say they want things but don't want to work for it. They want it to fall into their laps,
That's right.
and it don't go like that.
Yep. That's
You
true.
feel
That's
what?
what ET be like. Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do beast things, like like have a beast mentality. You know what I mean? Like everybody
Mhm.
wants something, but when it's time, or you have when he says like you want to breathe, you wanted it when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe. That is like the perfect saying. Like you
Mhm.
don't want it, you can't want it as bad as you want to watch TV or this or that. Like that's the truth. You can, yeah, you really. Andrew Tate is right. Like no matter what's going on, if you go after something, eventually you will get it. Or like also that mindset too, like oh, you speaking negativity like that in your life is not good as well. Like I'm a loser, or you know what I mean. Like we gotta watch
Exactly.
how we speak to ourselves. And they say we speak like, would you say that to your cousin, or would you say that to your child? The stuff you say to
Mhm.
yourself, or would you say that to your friend? Like oh wow, you look fat, or you're a loser, or you need to get a better job. Like we talk worse to ourselves than we talk to other people, and that's what we need to work on as humans.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Yeah, that's the truth.
All right. Question number 3. How was your childhood growing up?
My childhood growing up, I had a really good childhood. I got whatever I wanted, so I was very very spoiled by my stepdad, by my mom. I had a really good childhood. I was a Girl Scout. I did ice skating lessons. That was really I had a really good childhood. Um, Great friends. Grew up in a nice house, backyard. So it was roller skating, bike riding. I had it all. Um, I had it all. I mean, my mom did get sick when I was 13, so that kind of like changed the trajectory, but I still had a good childhood. You know what I mean? Like my childhood was still good. It would have been better if she wasn't sick, but things happened. But it was still I still had a good childhood. So
Okay,
I'm
okay,
happy about
okay.
that.
So, what are some things that you experienced that made it be such a great childhood?
Just growing up in the house I grew up in, like a ranch style house. I loved it. My neighbors, the schools I went to, the the hobbies I was able to obtain, and just like I said, I really got whatever I wanted. By the time I was 17, I did driver's ed. I got a car, had money put in my account, went straight to college. Like childhood was good, like block parties, which we spoke about before, and just like stability. Looking now, like I had a lot of stability and just like a house. Like it was just, I had a really good childhood, just memories and everything was good. So everything was great. Even though my mom was sick, everything was still really good. I became the caregiver for her more, but I still had a really good childhood. And I'm really grateful for that.
Okay, so I want to kind of elaborate on that. So, do you think being her caregiver did it possibly hold you back from certain things that you wanted to do or you could have done?
So I think it's cool. Like I'm a homebody now, and looking back, I think that was like the cause of me being a homebody. But I like being in the house. So it was just I didn't mind. I was being, with her, but I didn't as I got older, 13, 14, 15, I didn't hang out as much. I would go to my brother's basketball games and my cousins' football games and stuff. But um, I think it hindered me a little bit as far as like I didn't hang out as much as I can't even say definitively that I would have hung out more, but I still feel like I missed out on childhood a little bit more because like I didn't go out as much as other teens went out. So you know what I mean? So yeah, I think it hindered me a little bit, but not a lot, you know?
No, I feel you on that because I had to grow up a little faster than intended myself, so I can identify with that. Not specifically what you went through, but as far as having to grow up faster than intended, I can definitely identify with that. So,
And how did that affect you?
I mean, from a survival standpoint, it worked out, but from a life standpoint, no. Like knowing who I am, how to interact with people, the do's and the don'ts, and stuff like that. I really wasn't able to do that. I wasn't really able to be a child.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like to do childlike things. Like I had to
Right.
wash clothes, cook food, um, sweep, mop, and stuff like that, which is not a bad thing if you're teaching your child that, but
Right.
to have that be the basis of their life, I don't think that's a good thing. And I feel that kind of hindered me in a way because I basically lived a reverse life. When I was a child, I was forced to live as an adult. And once
Mm,
I became an adult, I tried to live like a child and do childlike things and make childlike decisions. But then by the time then it was too late because I already had a daughter at that point. So it's like I gotta be an adult. And because I wasn't able to be a child, becoming an adult, I didn't know what to do. In a lot of situations, I didn't know right from wrong. So it's like I had to make a lot of mistakes in my life for me to get to where I'm at today. And I guess you can say it's kind of like a double-edged sword, like a gift and a curse kind of thing.
right.
Any angle you look at it, I guess you could say, hypothetically speaking, it was bad.
Right. Cause what did I say to somebody? I said I wish I hung out more in my teens and my early 20s. I said that to someone who I met in Delaware at a job. And she said, I hung out. That's all I did was hang out. and in my teens and my 20s, and she's like, I wish I didn't. So it's like, I guess it's always, we think it's always greener on the grass is green on the other side. You know what I mean? Like, I guess we always think the other side is better, but I feel you on the caregiving and cooking and stuff. But and I think as adults we need to always have this childlike, a little childlike or silliness to ourselves. You know what I mean? I love
Yeah,
adults
yeah.
that can still be silly, because I feel like adulthood is such a it's so serious, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what's going on in life. Like life can be like knocking me upside the head, and like, and actually that's when I'm the most funniest. So like when I was studying for the bar with my old best friend, I don't talk to him anymore, but like I had him dying laughing. Like we was I when I tell you, that's when I'm the funniest, is when I'm stressed. Like I'm already funny, but like I have a joke. But when I'm high levels of stress, that's when I'm a full, like I have a joke after joke. So I don't care. I don't care what's going on in life. I'm a joke on myself. Like I'll joke on my outfit. Like I'll joke on everything. So, and I think we all have to keep that. We have to keep a level of silliness. You know what I mean, Meek?
Yes, that's true. I'm a big advocate for that. Like I always try to have an imagination no matter what. You feel what I'm saying? Because imaginations is the beginnings of creating something that could be big, you know?
Exactly.
So I'm big on that. Like I'm still a dreamer. I still have my imagination because those things that I'm thinking about in my head can correlate into me, getting rich off it. Who knows? Like for
Yeah,
example, somebody had, like, for example, George Foreman. He probably had to have an imagination to create the George Foreman grill, or
exactly.
somebody had to have an imagination to create the cell phone. So
And we
that's
should
just how.
never, yeah, never stop
Exactly.
dreaming, no matter the age. Like the guy, Kentucky Fried Chicken, the Colonel, he didn't pop off till he was like 40s or his 50s. There's a lot of stars and a lot of people that created stuff that didn't occur later until later in their life. So no
Hmm.
matter the age, we should just never stop dreaming and never stop being silly. Like I
Yep.
love adults that I see being silly. Like even really what brought me joy was not this last game, but the game before the one in Detroit when Spike Lee was jumping up and down. Remember when they won? I don't know if you saw that
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
I was like literally full of joy watching him. Like he looked like a little kid, like who was just so excited and well, you know how he feels about the Knicks. But I'm just saying, like the way he was jumping, you would have thought he wasn't. I don't know how old he is, but the way he was jumping, it looked like he was a teenage boy. But I like that. Like that's what I'm saying. I like that childlike excitement, and we need to have more of that. You know what I mean?
Facts. We
That's
definitely
what I
do.
told you about the jar. We need more things that make us happy in life,
Facts.
even as
Facts.
an
I
adult.
definitely agree with that.
More, yeah, more balance of fun. You know. So, what's the next
All
question?
right. Question number 4. What are some childhood questions you wish you had answers to? And before you answer, for the people that are watching, that's a very interesting question. I want to know your input on that. So please drop your responses in the comments, by the way. So,
Um, what are some childlike questions?
no
Um,
childhood questions.
childhood questions. Um, I'm not sure. I didn't even prep that question, but I guess so. For a long time, I got the question. I got the answer though. I had one. I don't have any baby pictures of myself. Like I don't know what I look like a baby. Like I'm about to go to the store and pick up. You know how you pick up picture frames, and they have like random people in the picture frame. As I'm
Yeah.
about to start picking up a frame and just pick up a Chinese. At this point, I don't know what I look like. So like for a long time, I wanted to know like why does my brother and sister, why do they have baby pictures? I don't have no pictures before I was like 3, maybe 3 or 4, and I just don't know. But anyway, I got that answer recently. She said she just left all the pictures, so I don't have no baby pictures. But I don't know what other questions I would want to know from childhood. I don't know. I guess I feel like I never had a conversation with my mom, Victoria, the one that adopted me. I don't think we've ever had like why did she do it? You know what I mean? Like I heard, because like I said, by the time I was 13, she wasn't able to have a full conversation. Just had like 5 or 6 like base words that she said. But I wish that I would have been a or like asked her. Like I know I found a letter After she passed, I found a letter when I was like 15. I wrote her just thanking her, like, and just for what she did for me. But I feel like I never had a conversation. You know what I mean? Like by the time I was, because you don't know when you're a child what you don't understand the severity of a situation or like the level of gratitude. You know what I mean? Like how much this woman like changed my life. But so I kind of wish I would have asked her like, why did you do that at 57? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So I think those I would ask her some questions like, because just like the love she showed me, it's just amazing. I think that's why also like I like even long after she stopped speaking, I still felt the love, and that's why now like even with friends and like the men I deal with, I need to see. I don't need you to tell me you like me or tell me you love. I need to, you know what I mean? I need the actions to match the words. So I'm very big on that because my stepfather, who wasn't my biological father, treated me like his daughter. You could tell he loved me. My biological dad, I'm not. And I think I asked him too, like, well, I don't know. I don't really have any questions for him, but I'm trying to get a better relationship with him. I don't think he shows up enough in my life. Like you say you want to have a better relationship, but you're not showing up enough. So I'm taking the time now to I reach out to him more, even though I don't like to reach out to people. I feel like you should be reaching out to me or should be like equal. But I'm biting the bullet and I'm reaching out to him more. So I think I don't know. I don't know. I probably would have a big conversation with my mom, Victoria, but I can't have that. So I don't know, honestly. What
Okay.
about you? What childhood questions would you want to ask?
Oh, that's a no-brainer for me. I want to have a conversation with my pops. I want to know why he never was around.
Mm.
That's a no-brainer for me. So that's one of
Yeah,
the questions I would want to know. That I would want to have the answer to, I should say.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because I feel like it doesn't like it doesn't matter if you're an adult or these are questions, right? You do want to know. Yeah, you're right. I don't. I don't. I don't feel the need to know why he wasn't around because like he just wasn't around. You know what I mean? And you still not around. So really,
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of
that's
defeats
what
the
I'm saying.
purpose.
Like I'm trying, but I'm like, when you want to do better, you have to show better. Like you can't just say you want to be a better person and then there's no action behind it. Or I can't say I want to be a better girlfriend or I want to be a better friend and then I'm not doing anything. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like you're just talking. I don't like talking. I like action behind talking. Like I say I want to be a better person. I'm working on it. I want to be a better friend. I'm working on that. I want to be a better communicator. I'm working on it. I want to be a better motivational speaker. I'm reading books. I want to be a better actor. I want to be a better professional speaker. I'm taking classes. I'm doing modeling. I want to get out of my comfort zone. You understand what I'm saying? I don't like, why am I just talking? And it's the same thing with you as a person. Like I want to do better. I'm going to do better. So I'm a big
Facts.
proponent about action behind your words. Otherwise, it's just words. You know what I mean, me?
Nah, you're 100% right about that. I agree with you.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Okay. So I'm trying to do something different. I have pre-written questions 1 through 25, right?
Hmm.
Either you can answer that or you can answer the random question in my mind. But here's the kicker. If you choose not to answer either or, you have to tell something embarrassing about yourself.
I'm gonna choose.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so would you rather the questions I written down 1 through 25, you have to pick one, or would you rather the random question in my thought? Or
I'm
would
gonna
you
pick up.
rather
Go ahead.
telling something embarrassing about yourself?
No, I'm gonna pick a question, a number, and I'm going to answer it.
Okay. So what is it? What number? 1 through 25.
I'm going to pick 25.
Oh. To love or to trust? Which one is hard? Or should I say harder?
To love or to trust?
Yeah, which one is harder?
Um, I think for me, probably to trust.
How did
I
I know you
think
was gonna say that?
really
I knew you was gonna say that, yeah.
loving is hard too, though. You know what I mean? But I think because you gotta like you're trusting. I don't know. Like I said, it goes back to like people's action and people's words, and just like, and then being who they say they are. So I think trust is harder. Like trusting yourself enough to trust somebody else, or like to trust them with your heart. So it's hand in hand. Loving and trusting is hand in hand, but trusting is definitely harder for me. I'm working on it though. Like
Okay.
not like side eyeing or like tilting my head to the side, like, yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Or like over, because I overthink. So I guess I'm
Yeah.
overthinking if I should really trust them. You know what I mean? Am I making sense? Or am I
Nah,
rambling?
you making a lot of sense. But
So I think trusting them is harder than loving them.
why is it hard for you?
Um Maybe that goes hand in hand with, you know why probably? Like, you know why probably. But I think just cuz like relationships that I've had, or even like family too, you know what I mean? Like I feel like, I told you, I think I have like a little tiny bit of PTSD from that abusive relationship. So I think with him, he always, apologized and was apologetic after he hit me. So um I think that's also why I'm big on words and action. Like don't say you like me, don't say, I don't know. I don't know. I just think trusting is harder. I don't know. I don't know how to formulate it, but I just think it's just harder for me. I don't know. Maybe it's just because the situationals. I don't know. I don't have no idea. It's hard. It takes me a while. I'm not gonna say a long time, but it takes me a while to build up trust with somebody. You know. Once I can see I can trust you though, then you got me. You know. It's not automatic.
Yeah, nah, I definitely agree with that. I could see what you mean when you say
I
that.
gotta,
So,
yeah, I gotta see that you're trustworthy. I can't just trust you off the bat, even if you're a good person. You could be a good friend. It don't mean you're a good boyfriend. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
yeah, I gotta make sure that you're trustworthy. I gotta do a background check. Just kidding.
I was going to say you a lawyer, so you know you got access to that shit.
Ain't no
Do a
ain't no
background
background
check.
check to show that you're trustworthy though. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
gotta do I
amen.
gotta do reference checks with your previous girlfriend. That's what we should start doing. Like talking to previous relationships. Like, what do you think? What do you think he could have did better? You know what I mean? Or what do you think she could have did better? But
Shit,
life
I
is
might
all about just taking chances though. So trying to take more
amen to that.
chances and trying to trust a little more, but it's harder, in my opinion. What do you think?
For me, to trust. So I definitely agree with you with that because for me, I have some serious trust issues.
Yeah.
It's to the point where I don't even trust my judgment sometimes because sometimes
Mm,
my judgment gets me into a lot of shit that I don't need to be in, and it's hard for me to get out of.
that's you couldn't have worded that any better.
Yeah, you know.
That right. You can't even trust your own. You know what? That might play a part too in trusting somebody else, because that's crazy. Yeah, that you said that. You're absolutely right. For me, I see the good in people. Too, like that's my flaw. My opinion. That's one of my. I just realized that. I feel like it's a flaw. It's a gift and a curse. I said that like a couple of weeks ago because I really truly think it is. So I think because I see the good in people, that I don't know, that hinders, and that makes me question the trust. Like you said, I question my own judgment. Perfect way to word it, Meek. Yep. So we got to work on that, because we can't be, we can't do that.
Mm-hmm. You ain't lying about that, man. You definitely can't.
Nope. We got to get it together. So we got to figure out a way to do better in that department, right?
Amen. Amen, sister, for real.
We're gonna get it together though, because we're healing. We're in this healing process. We're reassessing ourselves. We're assessing ourselves. So we're gonna figure it out. You know what I mean? And somebody's gonna walk into our life anyway, and is gonna show us that they're so trustworthy that we will. It doesn't even matter what we think. You know what I mean? And so maybe there's somebody in your life already, and you're hindering that, and you're like self sabotaging it too. You know what I mean? Me?
I felt that.
Yeah. We're gonna
I
get it
felt
together.
that. One of these days, right?
Oh, absolutely.
One of
There's
these
no
days,
doubt.
you're
There's
gonna
no
get it
doubt
together.
about it. That's it. But we're such good people that these people should see that we're good people anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they should.
Exactly. That's what
All
I say.
right. So, you have any words of inspiration for the people that are watching?
Um, just keep dreaming, keep every day find some kind of joy in your life, like no matter how big or small it is, because life, we're here today and we could be gone today. And for
Mhm.
me, when someone passes away, I think this is so sad because life just keeps going. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then the memories and like pictures. Like for me, I'm running out of pictures to post. It was my mom's birthday on Friday, and I'm running because I lost phones, I lost cameras. I'm running out of pictures to post of us. And it's just like life is so precious, and I need to be I say stuff, I have it on my door. Just be more intentional and deliberate with every second, every moment, every person. You love somebody, you tell them, your friends, you know what I mean? Like make memories, disregard money, because in the end of your life, you're not even gonna think about the money that you used to make a memory. Take that trip, take a local trip, take a weekend trip, take a drive, go sit by the water. I think yesterday I sat by the water, helped my aunt do storage. I said, "You want to sit by the water?" I ate my salad. Water calms me. Like I told you that. I told you that yesterday. Like literally any bit of joy, go after it. I don't care what it is. That's my words of motivation. Go after whatever you want. That's it.
Amen to that. Amen to that, sister. I definitely love that.
And what about you? There you are.
Well, for me, I like to freestyle stuff like this. I don't like to, have pre-made quotes written down anything. So for me, I would say we have to get in the habit of acting like we have time to waste. A lot of people would say, "I'll do it tomorrow," or "I'll do it next week," or "I'll do it next month," or maybe next year. We don't got time, man. We do not have time to waste. Whatever you want in life, go after it right now, because I've said this multiple times and I'm going to continue to say it. The death of my cousin and the way he passed away really made me open my eyes and say, yo, we are not immortal as much as we believe we are, or as much as we think we are. We are humans. It's not like back in the days where people were dying because of old age. You're lucky to see 40. Okay? You're lucky to see 21s. Stop living life like you got time to waste. Whatever you want, go for that shit now. You want that job, go for that job. You like that guy, go for that guy. You like that girl, go for that girl. Live like you have no tomorrow.
Mm. Hmm.
Kind of piggybacking off what Karima said, of course, but we ain't got time to waste, y'all.
I like that. I like that. That resonated with me. That was really good. And to
Yeah.
piggyback off of that, it's exactly what you said. So I'm doing more because, like I said, my brother, he's about to be 40 in August. We're 14 months apart. So as I feel like not a responsibility, but I feel like watching him deteriorate and like him talking to me, like I'm telling him that I'm gonna go spy on my son. Like, I tell him stuff what I'm gonna do, like we laugh and stuff. Like I said after school, I'm gonna go incognito and I'm gonna go spy on him. But I feel and then he'd be like telling me the drinks to get. So I feel like I'm living for him, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
experiences I'm doing, like I feel like because he's mentally ill and like I again like when I saw this quote and I posted it when I wrote it for Siblings Day, like what was the quote? It was something like our every day is the prayer and dream of someone else. So someone sitting in a hospital bed, someone who's in the graveyard who thought they had more time, someone that's 80 or 90. If you ever speak to 80 or 90-year-olds, like I follow this person on Instagram where they post things that older people say, 80, 90. Most of them are saying, go after whatever you want. You love that person, go after that person. Go after the dream. Go take that trip. Everything is go, go, go because every older person says life just flashes before, like literally, they're like, I'm 50 already, I'm 60, I'm 70, I'm 80. So yes, like you said, like live like there's no tomorrow. Like you didn't think your cousin was
Mm-hmm.
gonna pass. I didn't think
Mm-hmm.
my brother, who was a basketball star, baseball, football, had all the Jordans, had all the friends, was popular. I literally would not think he spent more of his life now, maybe 20 years of his life, more in jail than outside of jail. Like who would have thought that? Like, and think about it, 14 months apart. What makes me sad, and like it's really sad, and makes me cry, is because I could have been the one that was mentally ill. Like he could have been the lawyer. I could have been the one in jail. And like, so when I think about like that, that makes me take more chances. That makes me want to, when I'm scared and I'm nervous and I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that, or taking trip, like that makes me want to live life more. Just thinking just about that. Like life, we take
Amen.
life,
Amen.
we take it for granted. Like we literally take it for granted. Like at one point, the job we have now, this is the job we wanted. Now we don't want it anymore. But we like, so that like you just we take we just we're too self-absorbed. We're too like we just take life for granted, and I'm working on not doing that anymore because life is something else.
You ain't lying about that, man. When life
Right.
be lifing, that shit be lifing for real.
Yeah. If it ain't one, like when they said if it ain't one thing over another. Now all the old sayings that I used to hear, I'm like, you're hanging in there. No, now I know what hanging in there. Barely. Like, yes.
Word,
Right. What?
word,
If it
barely.
ain't one thing or another. Now I understand. Yes. I get it. Yes. I literally understand all those sayings now, right? You ain't get it when
Facts.
you was younger. You get it now,
You
right?
getting it now. Word. You
Right.
getting it now.
I'm
Word.
like,
Facts.
God damn, it's just, can I get a break? Like, you literally be
Word.
like, can I
Word.
just, and
You looking at your watch. You like, yo, I'm about due for a break, man. What's up?
right, right. And then when things are too good, I had caught myself like, what's going on? Things is too, like, it's like you're not even used to things going so well because life just be, you know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be intentional to live with everything, relationships, family, friends, career, everything. I'm just waiting for I'm just calling every opportunity because I know big things is coming my way and I'm doing it for my brother as well. So,
Amen. Amen
yeah,
to
and
that.
you're doing
For
it for
real.
your cousin Josh. So we doing
Word.
it for them.
Amen to that. Amen.
Yep.
But
Yep.
once
Yep.
again, I'm surprised you survived this, but I'm just letting you know right now it's going to get crazier with the questions. So I hope you have the same level of transparency you have now in the later episodes. Because
I'm
some
working
of
on
these
that.
questions, yeah,
Transparency. I don't know what
some
that
of
is.
these questions can be a little difficult to answer, but I'm sure you're going to do a good job.
I'll try.
But once again, as I stated earlier, I appreciate you for taking the time out your day or your night, I should say, to be on my platform to talk about your life story. For those that are watching, I appreciate you for taking the time to view this. This is part one of This Is My Life with Karima. You know the motto. As always, spread love, not hate. Chase our dreams. We out of here, y'all.